Okay, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing all well and I hope things are good at your end. So in today's video, we are talking about variable ND filters for the DJI Mavic Air 2. Now these variable ND filters are from the guys at Moment. If you're not aware of the guys from Moment, basically the guys from Moment, they make kit, they also provide other bits of kit. They are basically creators who create for other creators. They are absolutely epic. I recommend you do a bit of research on them if you have not heard of them already, but most people that are into my field will obviously recognize that name. Now they are not the sponsors of today's video, they are simply supporting it by sending me some free ND filters. The best thing about these filters is they are variable ND filters. Now I'm absolutely buzzing that variable ND filters now exist for your drones. Previously, drones have always had fixed ND filters and obviously you're having to flip them in and out every single time you use them. Now Moment has sent me these, they come in small little hockey pucks, they are absolutely awesomely packaged and obviously they provide the following. Now the complete set, they give you a 2 to 5 stop, a 6 to 9 stop and a CPL filter. And the reason why I'm so excited about these is because essentially all I simply did was reach out to Moment and say, I'm really interested in your product. Now, could you send me any videos that you potentially got to showcase to me what they can do? They then simply reached back to me and said, we checked out your channel, we think it's awesome, we'd love to support you, so we'll send you these for free and we'll continue to work with you going forward. Now, I have already been out and shot this once before. I didn't actually like the way that turned out, but some of the shots I've got, as you can clearly see, are pretty good. But we're going to get out of the studio and we're going to showcase to you exactly what these can do with some more subtle and simple footage. So you know how we do this. We're going to get out of the studio, we're going to get some epic drone footage. So let's do this. Okay, so here we go. Obviously we're down in town in Barnstable and it's roughly about 11:15. The sun is nice and high in the sky and obviously that's going to be perfect to show off what these variable ND filters can do for your drone footage. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fly this thing on all its auto settings. So there is no ND filter on this drone at the moment. Now the thing with these drones is on auto they are absolutely banging still. They will still get you epic footage, but what you won't be able to do, which you can do with an ND filter, is you won't be able to get that shutter speed double what your frame rate is, which we all know is what you want to get for that epic natural cinematic look. Sweet, so nice and simple. Obviously you saw that initial footage. I've just changed over the ND filter. I'm now going to try the 2 to 5 stops. Now in this sunlight, whether that's going to be enough f-stops to get that sort of shutter speed to where I want it for. Now obviously, as you should know, obviously whatever frame rate you're shooting on this drone, so let's say you're shooting 24 frames per second, you want to double that shutter speed and that is going to give you natural motion blur. Now when you see buttery, crispy, epic footage from other people's videos, it's for this exact reason. They've got that shutter speed nailed down, perfect for that frame rate, and it makes everything look natural, look epic, and look great to the eye. Sweet, okay, so as you can tell that looked pretty good. Now that was at 5 stops of ND on that one. Now that was a 2 to 5 stops, so that was at the top of its range. Obviously it can go all the way down to 2. but obviously that was floating in at 100 ISO, which obviously I like to work from 100. I think it's a really good ISO to work from. I don't often crank it up unless I absolutely have to, just to encourage no noise. But obviously you're not going to get noise in the image even if you're floating up to sort of 400 to 800. Obviously the better camera you have, essentially the more ISOs you can obviously step it up to, because it's that electronic sort of lightning that can be put into your footage. I hope that made sense. But now what we're gonna do is we've got 6 to 9 stops on. I'm gonna crank it all the way to 9. Now I don't know if it's bright enough. It is pretty bright, but I don't know if it's bright enough for 9 stops ND. So I might have to crank that ISO up a little bit just to make sure that the footage looks crispy and looks epic as it should. Okay, so there we have it. That's it for that little drone sequence. I hope it showcased you what these can do. Before we go and talk more about these epic ND filters, let's get back into that studio. Awesome, so we are back in the studio. I hope you enjoyed showcasing you the different things that these ND filters can do on this drone. Now hopefully you can see the obvious advantages of these ND filters. The idea that you can go out in the field, you can put one lens on your drone and you can simply change the amount of ND that you have and away you go. Now I have experienced this, but I also have a friend who also still has the original Mavic Pro, and we were only having a discussion yesterday how he was like, they're variable, that's incredible, because he still obviously has to switch in and out depending on how bright it is essentially outside and what different ND he needs. Now the fact that I can put one lens on and it goes through 4 different levels of stop of ND is absolutely incredible. They're very, very easy to put on the drone. They are not a problem at all. The form factor is tiny, so they're going to be easy to stow away in your kit. And obviously they are not cheap and nasty in any form or fashion. The build quality on these is very good indeed. And one of the best things about these is the price point. They are very, very, very cheap indeed. And if you look on my description below in the video, there is a link for all of these filters, so you can get them. You can get them from Moment through me, and obviously I may see a little bit of a kickback for that. So obviously if these interest you, follow that link. So I just want to say a massive thank you to Moment. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for sending me these variable NDs. They will become very, very useful. Massive thank you also to all the people that supported the last video. It was my biggest grossing video today, and that was, yeah, epic. So very simple, let's end this video. The link is below if you want to purchase these ND filters. I have been Danny Hollywood of DannyHollywood.com. You guys have been awesome. We are Team Hollywood, and I'll see you very, very, very soon.